All right, guys, so let's get into this blow dry and trim. If you notice, the ends of my hair that have been dyed this light purple that it looks now have lost all the elasticity that I can stand, which is common when you have your hair bleached to a very high level. And when I say high level, I'm talking about 5 levels or more away from your natural color. It can also happen, and that's normal, even when it's done correctly, because it's just too far away from where it lives. It can also happen when the color is over processed. And either way, there's slight to major damage to the hair. So you want to be really, really careful and know exactly what you're committing to when you decide to get your hair colored. Now, moving on, what you see me doing with the blow dryer is just the tension method. I like to always take the blow dryer and stretch my hair with my hands before and using the blow dryer and before bringing out a tool. Now I'm traveling and I don't have my preferred tools with me, so this blow dryer doesn't get as hot as I would prefer, nor does this brush have the amount of tension that I prefer. I normally like to use a nice round brush and a hotter blow dryer so I can get a little bit smoother blow dry. But working with what I have, and it's because I haven't trimmed my hair in about a year, probably a little longer. I've been living in Panama, which is a very, very humid Central America country. And because I prefer to trim my hair on a blow dry, just so I can get everything. Yeah, this blow dry wasn't happening out there. So I'm back in the States and getting this done. Now, typically I'll trim at least twice a year, sometimes quarterly. It just really depends on what's going on with my hair. And so my general guidance for how often you should trim your hair really depends on your own hair's characteristics. So like people who have fine strands are generally going to need to trim a little bit more often than people who have coarse strands. And of course, this is all dependent on how you're wearing your hair. Are you doing a lot of heat styling, a lot of manipulation? Are you doing low manipulation, washing and going? But the frequency on which you trim your hair is really relegated to your own hair characteristics and how you are caring for it. So I have a medium strand with a thick density, and I'm low manipulation for the most part. So about twice a year is where I live, but since we're at the year mark, I'm over here taking off anywhere between 1 inch to 2.5 inches. The 2.5 is coming from the front of the head in the areas where it's been dyed purple. And some of it has even been dyed over black. Just through recolorings, I've been losing some of my purple. But anyway, taking the most off of that area because it's been damaged slightly in the color process, which means it's going to age and show damage faster than the hair that hasn't been colored. So what you see me doing there was just a little face framing. Hair is already trying to revert right here and get on back to its shrunken self. But yeah, that trim was necessary. I feel so much better about my hair. It's much easier to detangle now. And I mean, 1 inch to 2.5 inches. I mean, what's the problem with that? Nothing. So what you see me doing here is finishing my flat twist set, and I'm using one of my own salves from my product line, and flaxseed gel that I'm testing, the formula that I'm testing out. And this part right here would have been super, super difficult if I hadn't trimmed my hair, because it would have just been knot junction city toward the ends trying to separate this hair and get this flat twist done, which ultimately results in more damage to the hair overall, the mids and the ends, especially when it catches and you have to pull it and you have to break it apart. So trimming the hair definitely helps to preserve the integrity of the cuticle of your hair. So we're just flat twisting. I sped this up a little bit because I think this one flat twist took me about 3-4 minutes. Still twisting. Now I think I took this set out like 2 days later after a couple of hot showers and whatnot, in which, you know, it's going to lend itself to a little frizz, but here's the result. And like I said, there was a lot of kink still left in the hair just because of the nature of the blow dry, but this is what we got trimmed after a year, flat twist set. Hope y'all enjoyed. Drop your questions in the comments.